Welcome back. So we're going to go into a pretty easy design here. I've done this plenty of times. I'm sure you've done this, but I just wanted to showcase some artists that have done some work with some really fun designs. And you can, I'll link everything down below where you can find these. I actually got these from a place. They printed them out, but I'll let you know where you can actually get them. And you can print them out yourself, or I'll link the place where I got them down below. But anyways, I am using Dahlia here. Now, I wanted to get more of like a purple look to this, but I didn't really have a light enough purple. So I used this antique rose color, and I wasn't like too keen on the way that it came out the color wise, but it ended up being really cute. But it was like, at first I thought this is not going to work, but I really do like the colors and just kind of the muted sparkle of it. It's very sparkly, but it's just kind of muted in its color. So it works out kind of with the design, I think, in the end. So hopefully you understood what I did there. I painted it, spray painted it, put some epoxy on there, and then I just dumped Dahlia from Chase Ray. We do have a discount code. It's down below for that. It is a stunning color. It does not do it justice on this beigey pinky color, but it is a really beautiful, very iridescent, sparkly color. Great for spring that's coming up. So this is a 35 ounce from Hog. So the reason that I picked such a gigantic size cup was because of the decal that was printed. The decal was like 5 inches or something like that, big. So I was like, I have to have something that's big enough to show the design of the pizzas and, you know, all of that, and then also not take the complete over coverage of the decal, you know, of the words and everything like that. So that is why I'm using a gigantic cup. And I think at one point it's not in frame, but it's very hard to get this in frame because it's gigantic. Anyways, that's the reason why I'm using such a giant cup. But I just let that cure with the glitter on there, and then I just went in with 2 coats of epoxy after that, did some sanding, and then I did another coat of epoxy over that, and now we're at this spot because this is a clear printer, right? So it's clear on there, but then they've printed it on white, so you get that clear look, but then all of those little decals all those little details are, you know, on there, and they can kind of show up on any background. So that's what I like about this particular technique, is these clear cast decals that everybody's doing now. It's really cool. But anyway, so I just kind of wrapped this, and wasn't really too concerned about it being straight or anything like that. I just kind of started and just went from there. So here's where I'm going to show you how I kind of messed up. I messed up, and then I was able to fix it, but it took me a good chunk of time because I genuinely thought that I was cutting this down the backside, right? So I thought I was cutting it on the line that was there. Well, come to find out, there is another clear line that was on the end, which I suggest to you to cut off before you go about doing this, because I ended up slicing it down, and then I was like, oh, I just cut that right down where that clear was, and so it was completely gapped open, and I sat there for quite some time thinking, how am I going to fix this? Like, how is this supposed to, I'm going to have to patch some of these holes, and how am I going to do that? Do I cut around the pizza slices? Do I cut around the boxes? So I'm going to let you kind of watch this. I'm going to explain a little bit. I'm going to get into it here in a minute. I did end up cutting off the, because I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to cut the top off. Because I was thinking, how am I going to fix this, you know, the right way, or make it look halfway decent or anything like that. So I was like, okay, let me cut the top off. And then I kept that piece because I was like, just in case if I needed the particular cut of, you know, that piece of pizza or the slice or whatever. So I ended up kind of just examining it for a little while and thinking, okay, what I can do is maybe overlap everything, right? So I was trying to find where I cut the pieces from, and for some reason, the piece that I cut off was not really matching up in the right way. Now, I don't know if it's because it was cut, it was like printed on that clear, and I sliced it, and then the other, anyway, I have no idea. So I just set that one aside once I kind of figured out that I was like, I cannot make this match up. So I set, at some point I give up on this piece here. At some point I said, okay, just put it off to the side. Okay, now let's get this piece. And it seemed to make a lot more sense with this this last little piece that I had left of this. Now you can see that there is like kind of a clear little space right after that print, right? So I end up cutting that off, which is what I should have done in the first place, and I think I would have might have had a little bit more success in you know, making just a line down the middle of this, and maybe not having to do so much work. So learn from my mistakes. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this. So what I ended up doing was just placing the pieces in order, like putting them back in piece, putting them back like a puzzle piece, I guess is a better way to say that, right? So I ended up, you know, cutting these pieces and putting them back. And then I ended up like kind of slicing around them so that it wouldn't look so overlapped, so that it would look overlapped, but not overlapped in the sense that it was overlapped. So I ended up cutting out like around the pizza slices and around the pizza, the full heart pizza and the boxes and stuff, and kind of cutting off that excess underneath and around it so that we could, so it would just look like it was just kind of overlapped instead of one piece was on top of another piece. I promise it makes a lot more sense than the way I'm explaining it. But the way I did it, so you'll see how I'm kind of cutting these pieces out, and that is where I'm kind of getting it to where it's not, the print is not overlapped on another print. So it just looks kind of like it's laying on top of it, but it's not so. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I was trying to figure out maybe if I could put the decal on top and kind of get it to cover it up, but that wasn't looking all that great either. So this is what I ended up doing.
Like this. Like this. Like this. Like this.
It really did look okay in the end. So I hope that really helped you. What I'm doing here is I'm using my cami page, and I'm doing exactly what I tell y'all not to do. I always say use a tweezers or something like that to pull that out, but I just sat there and did that. Anyways, we didn't see that. So they have like a little blank space that you can put at the bottom of these little cutters that brings it down even one step lower so that you can do the top part of your tumbler and you don't have to get such a harsh, really thick line. It can just be just a little bit of the vinyl that's cut off there. I think the reason that this is happening is because I did not cut it as good as I should have. And also, I think I pushed it in a little bit too far because I was not using my tweezers, so I was not able to control it as well as I should have. So anyways, I ended up going in and kind of fixing the little pieces just to kind of get it make sure that it looked decent on the top, because I was just having a little bit of difficult with this wrap. But it ended up looking cute, I think. So anyways, after I did all of that, I went ahead, because I was touching this thing like a million different ways, and I was like, let me cover this up. Let me just seal this up. So I went in with some Mod Podge, and I'm sealing this up. The only thing, I just thought that it would just kind of help with keeping like all those little cuts and stuff that I made on that line, and just anywhere else that I kind of had to pop bubbles or anything like that. So anyway, that's why I covered it in Mod Podge. So after that, I put a coat of epoxy on there, and I think I sanded the brim. Either way, I sanded it at some point. But I went in with, I was thinking about putting it on the other side with all of the shenanigans that we did on the other side, and then I thought, no, just put it on the front, leave the back to be the back of whatever, just be done. So anyways, I used some transfer tape here. This is like some clear shelf liner stuff that you can get at the Dollar Tree. Anyways, I've had tons of it, and it works really well. So I just thought, since I'm not really having to worry about, it's just one little square piece, right? So I don't have to worry about a bunch of vinyl pieces or anything like that. So anyways, I put this on here, and as you can see, that's why I used such a gigantic cup, because this thing was huge. So I needed a lot of space to show off all of the pizzas, and who doesn't love pizza, right? So anyways, that's why I used such a giant tumbler, and I love it. I just love the way it looks. So cute. It's just, who doesn't love pizza, right? Except for my husband, because he doesn't like the carbs, but love disappoints, right? Pizza is eternal. So I did go in with another coat of epoxy after this. I went in with this coat of epoxy, and then after that, I felt confident in sanding anywhere and getting it really nice and smooth, so I could put that final coat on there, and ended up being done with the process. And there she is, our Anti-Valentine themed tumbler. So, who doesn't love pizza, right? So it's just super cute. It really lets the sparkle kind of shine through, but not too much. Doesn't really take away too much from the design. I just thought this would be a lot of fun for just another way to design for Valentine's Day. All of these holidays were invented by Hallmark, right? So anyways, we don't have to celebrate everything. But we can celebrate our love for pizza and our love for tumblers and my love for you guys. I thank you so much for watching. Please join my Facebook group. And if you do anything like this, or if you do anything of mine, please tag me. All of my social media at 321 Cup Designs. And I'll see you next time.